We are back and it's January transfer window time. I've read all your comments. I've read your suggestions. We are struggling, guys. We are struggling. Bournemouth is on a downward spiral out of the Champions League. We fell from 2nd all the way down to 7th, and the games don't get much easier. We're gonna have to change something in this episode because the window is open. So let's go. Now, like I said, I have read most of your comments and your suggestions, and the consensus was that we need to bring in a new right back and possibly a new midfielder. Now, the problem is that we actually don't have any money. Here, let me show you guys. We don't have any money whatsoever. We have 664,000. That is all we have. But like I said in the previous episode, we have received 2 offers. One is for Chris Richards, which I will be rejecting. I'm not going to be selling Chris Richards anywhere. We need him. He's a center back trying to be a right back. We're converting him, so I'm going to reject the offer on Chris Richards. But then the offer of Yunus Musa, I mean, he's been at the club for 3 years now. Has he been decent? I would say so. Has he been disappointing? I would also say so. I think he's been quite disappointing. He's kind of been like a versatile utility player. Sometimes we use him in the midfield. Sometimes I'll put him out wide on the right-hand side and he'll play as a winger. I mean, I don't really know what to do with him, but also at the same time, the amount of money that Yunus Musa can bring in is not enough to sign a quality right back. And the only reason I say that is because the right backs that you guys suggested, they're all very, very expensive. Like, honestly, they're very, very expensive, which means to bring in, even possibly have an opportunity to bring in one of these guys, like Jeremy Frimpong, for example, like he's worth 98 million. We have 664,000. Yunus Musa can bring in maybe 15 million. Like, we're way off. Like, we cannot sign this guy. Like, we just can't afford him. So in order to raise more funds, some of you guys said that we may have to sell Kevin Alvarez as well, our starting right back, and he can bring in, I don't know, maybe around 20 million, maybe around 20, maybe 25 at most. So these are the right backs that I put on the short list. Or I think I have something in my tooth. I just had breakfast. Let's get back to this. So these are the right backs that you guys all suggested. I mean, Kyle Walker would be a decent shout, although he's 34 and he's 80 rated. I mean, he's not much better of an improvement on Kevin Alvarez. Ridley Baku, a great suggestion, but he's worth a lot. He's 36 million from Liverpool, and they were probably like, they're gonna want at least like 47 minimum, maybe 40. So I think we might have to sell Kevin Alvarez for sure. And obviously the rest, like Danny Carvajal, 32 years old, 29 million, can't afford him. Gotta sell Musa and Kevin Alvarez. It's just, you know, Rico Williams or Rico Lewis, same thing. We can't afford him by just selling Yunus Musa. Vanderson, probably the same thing. Molina, definitely the same thing. Wan-Bissaka, for sure. Like, he's gonna be worth much more. Geertruida, Livramento, Malo Gusto, Tariq Lamptey, all these guys, like, they're great players, and I would love to have any one of them at the club, but we just can't afford them, which means we have to sell both Yunus Musa and Kevin Alvarez. I'm making so many mistakes in this video. I can't speak. Now, the one player I'm really keen on is this guy right here, Ferdi Kadioglu, the Turkish left back, right back, left midfielder, right midfielder from Fenerbahce. He's worth 28.5 million. He's only 25 years old, 81 rated. He's very fast. He looks pretty good, honestly. How is his crossing? Crossing 76, ball control 84. This guy looks really good, and he's not bad defensively either. Stand tackle 76, slide tackle 73. Maybe this is the guy that we need. And now the other problem is that our squad is actually quite thin already, honestly. Besides left backs, center backs, we have a decent amount of center backs and 2 right backs, with Chris Richards kind of filling in as a right back as well. We really don't have that many midfielders. We only have Eustachio, Musa, Billing, and James Ward-Prowse. We have 4 midfielders that can play in those 2 midfielder roles. If we sell Yunus Musa, we're down to 3 midfielders. And if we sell Kevin Alvarez, we're down to 3 midfielders, and we're in need of a right back. So we would be in need of a midfielder and a right back, like just an upgrade on Alvarez and Musa. And with so many big games coming up, we have the Europa League games coming up, we have the FA Cup starting, and we still want to perform in the Premier League. Do I want to make this squad thinner than it is already? That's the issue. That is the problem, guys. We're in this pickle where we have no money. We'd love to bring in players, but we can't really bring in players because we have to sell players to bring in players, and that doesn't change anything. So we have to go like a 2-for-1, which makes us a player short. What the heck is that noise, man? What is going on? What are you doing? It's 7 o'clock in the morning. What? I'm celebrating. Celebrating what? All the neighbors are asleep. We're getting a bunch of Wonder Kids at Bournemouth. You haven't heard? Wonder Kids at Bournemouth? Okay, I'm going back to bed. This is why I'm excited. We're gonna win a bunch of trophies with these Wonder Kids. No, we're not getting any Wonder Kids at Bournemouth, man. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know where you heard this. Online, like Reddit and like local newspapers and stuff. Wherever you hear this news, you gotta have the worst football knowledge ever. We went from 2nd to 7th. We're out of a Champions League spot and we don't even have any money to buy anyone. I know, but I'm just really excited. Wonder Kids at Bournemouth. Go back to bed. But there is somebody we can bring in on loan, and he is a right back to help us out. It is Rico Lewis from Manchester City. I mean, I don't know how this happened, but they gave him to us, honestly. They gave him to us on loan, so he's going to come in and hopefully replace Kevin Alvarez. I understand it's a short loan, but we can try and buy him in the summer. Rico Lewis, welcome to Bournemouth. In between all our transfer business, we do have an FA Cup game. Like I said, the FA Cup is starting, and it is away against Blackburn. I am starting a strong side because the games are quite a few days apart, so we can start our strong side, and I feel pretty confident. I think we can beat Blackburn with our strongest side, even though it's away. Can we move forward in the FA Cup, or is there going to be an upset? There's not going to be an upset. It is Solanke, it is James Ward-Prowse, it is 2-0 Bournemouth, and we move forward in the FA Cup. And I'm sorry, guys, we had to do it. I sold Kevin Alvarez to Porto. He's going to be joining Marcus Tavernier, who actually plays at Porto in the save as well. We sold him for 19 million. We allocated 15 million to our current transfer budget. Hopefully, we have some money now to get at least something done, because we brought in Rico Lewis for 6 months. We can look at kind of solidifying a right back position in the summer. But until then, Rico Lewis will be starting or rotating with Chris Richards. So I found that Kevin Alvarez was kind of just like that odd man out, so I wanted to cash in on him. So 15 million. Kevin Alvarez, thank you for your time at Bournemouth. Good luck at Porto. And I also wanted to sign this guy right here, Brandon Williams from Manchester United, on a free transfer. He's a left back, I know, and I know we have Francisco Ortega and Matias Vinha, but Brandon Williams is not only younger, but he's also better than Matias Vinha, and maybe we can even switch him to a right back on a free. I mean, I can't complain, honestly. I cannot complain. He's 24 years old, 78 rated. He will bring depth to our squad for next season. Welcome to Bournemouth, Brandon Williams. A match at home in the Premier League against Burnley. I mean, we got to get 3 points, right? We need to get 3 points, and I'm confident we can get 3 points and break out of this losing streak. Can we get 3 points at home against Burnley? Yes, we can, and it is a clean sheet. It is 2-0. Nathan Ahmed scores in the 73rd minute, and James Ward-Prowse scores again. I'm so glad we got out of the slump. 2-0, 3 points. Let's go. Now, we may not be bolstering in permanent deals, but we are bolstering the squad for the rest of the season. Amad Diallo joins us from Manchester United on a 6-month loan. Same thing. If he performs well, we are going to buy him in the summer. Let's see how he does. It doesn't cost us anything. It just costs us his weekly wages, which is completely fine, and he gives us some more attacking options. Instead of like Reece Nelson and the kind of older and retiring Dries Mertens, we now have a young 22-year-old Amad Diallo bolstering that attack. Let's go. Amad Diallo, welcome to Bournemouth. Like I said before, we are sitting in 7th in the Premier League. We're only 4 points behind Chelsea, who is in 2nd. And what better way than to test our Wonder Kids and our new signings? Oh, there's a fly. Little fruit flight. And what better way to test our Wonder Kids, our new signings, now I can't speak, than to play Chelsea. Let's go and play Chelsea and get 3 points. We are going to be starting our strongest lineup: Traore, Brooks, and Diallo on the right-hand side. Lewis right behind him. Oxford, Guehi, Ortega, Eustachio, James Ward-Prowse, and Dominic Solanke up top with Neto in nets. And Chelsea's looking strong. Sterling, Thuram, Madueke, Havertz, Fernandes, Chilwell, Koulibaly, Rudiger, Silva, James, and Mendy in nets. Can we get 3 points? I feel confident. Welcome to Stamford Bridge, as it is Chelsea hosting Bournemouth. 2nd place Chelsea, 7th place Bournemouth. 4 points separate them. We need the 3 points. Let's go and get them. Chelsea's in their blue, dark blue. We're in our light baby blue. Guys, I feel very excited about our new signings. I know that they're loan deals, but I feel so excited and I don't know why. Maybe they can give us something. Maybe they can save our season. They can bring some excitement to the club. Ortega does well. Eustachio gives the ball away. Fantastic. Thuram, Sterling. Wow, they're passing so well. Oh, Neto. Oh, baby, baby, baby. Neto, we love you. And we're going to try and play in Dominic Solanke here. We're going to play in Dominic Solanke. Our goal scorer, Dominic Solanke. Dom, do we need to look for a new striker next season? We're not going anywhere without these 3 points. Anybody making runs? It is Dominic Solanke making a run. Dom, don't you do it again, brother. You did it again. 3 solid chances for us, and Dominic Solanke had 2 of them, and it just didn't work out. He just can't finish it right now. Halftime, 0-0. I'm gonna say that we were the better side, that is for sure. We had 3 decent chances, and I think we should have had a goal, but we don't have one. 0-0. Oh my gosh, Diallo, you absolute beautiful person. Come on, somebody jump up. Nobody's jumping. Everybody's lazy. Traore. Look how many players they have in the back. It's so hard to break them down. Ortega. Solanke. Okay. This is getting ridiculous. People are booing Chelsea here, and it's still 0-0. And they're going to score here, aren't they? It's going to be Chilwell, and he's not going to score. Oh my gosh. Get a ball out. Can we get the ball out? What is happening? We're going to make 1 sub. David Brooks is going to come off. Reece Nelson is going to come on. Amad Diallo is going to that cam position. Reece Nelson is going out wide. We go to Nelson. Out wide to Rico Lewis. He's going to jump forward here. Somebody put the ball in the net. What? Dom, what? You had several chances. We need a hero, and they say that a hero can save us. Who is it going to be? It's got to be somebody. Is it James Ward-Prowse? Is it James Ward-Prowse? Oh, I thought that went in. It didn't go in. It was close. Marcus Thuram is coming off for Chelsea. Patrick Schick is coming on for Chelsea. Wow, they are stacked. Nelson does well. Can we go back the other way? We can't. It ends in a stalemate. It ends in 0-0. But I'm honestly very, very impressed by our youngsters. Extremely impressed by Rico Lewis. Extremely impressed by Amad Diallo. We've played 1 game with them, and they're becoming my favorite players. Before the January transfer window comes to a close, we have been scheduled another match. It is an FA Cup draw against Fulham, but this time it is at home. I feel very confident we are starting our strongest side, and I feel like we can make another cup run this season. Can we beat Fulham at home and progress in the FA Cup? We should be able to, right? There it is. 3-1. Traore, James Ward-Prowse, and Traore. Traore, man, I mean, he's been a phenomenal signing for us. We move forward in the FA Cup. The January transfer window has come to a close. We haven't had any other bids. No one came in to try and buy one of our players. I couldn't really find anything else that we could do to bolster the squad with the money that we had. We brought in 2 good signings, Amad Diallo, Rico Lewis. We sold Kevin Alvarez, and then we brought in Brandon Williams. Don't forget about Brandon Williams on a free. He's going to be very, very important next season. Taking a look at the standings after we drew with Chelsea, we are up to 6th. There's a 6-point gap between us and Arsenal, 23 matches in. I mean, it doesn't get any closer, does it? Look at 2nd to 7th. 6-point difference between us and 2nd place. And there's a 6-point difference between Arsenal and 7th place Spurs. It's gonna get down to the wire, honestly. It's gonna come down to the wire. We just need to put in our performances. We need to score some more goals, and we need to win some games. Looking at our month of February, we only have 3 matches scheduled so far. It is a home match against Newcastle, home against Leeds, and away against Manchester United. We are waiting for the Europa League draw though as well, so look for that to come into the mix, and also the FA Cup draw. So we're going to be having a pretty busier month in February than what it looks like on paper. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for all the likes, all your player suggestions. Whoever suggested Ama Diallo and Rico Lewis, there's a lot of you. A lot of you suggested those guys. I'm glad that we can bring those players into the club, and hopefully they do well for us. Hopefully we can still qualify for a Champions League spot. Hopefully we can win the Europa League. Hopefully we can win the FA Cup. There's still a lot to do. There's still lots of trophies to win, and we're right there. Like, we can still do it. We can still do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you have, hit the like button for me. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Little noti bell as well. I know I always ask, but just do it. Please, just do it. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. Please. Can you please do it for me? Please, guys. Have yourself a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. All right? Peace.